you've experienced the loss of a business, job, marriage, or even a loved one during this pandemic, you're not alone. In any of these situations, we experience grief and oftentimes have trouble navigating it. So here to help us on Mental Health Monday is licensed professional counselor Lakiesha Russell. Thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Lakiesha, we may not always recognize what we're going through as grief. What does it look like? It's not just sadness, right?
Right. It's a sense of just feeling overwhelmed about all these saddening emotions, emptiness, possibly even some kind of burnout because you're just feeling so sorrowful and it's really heavy on you.
When you're going through, I know they say there's cycles of grief. What can you do to feel better? I think that's the big question that people have. Like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And what are some healthy ways maybe to cope?
Yeah, and that's such a great question. And I think for people to understand, even like during this time, we're all experiencing a collective grief of what's going on. And, you know, short and simple, there's no simple way to just get over those emotions because you have to start feeling them to get through them. And so I would tell people to acknowledge those emotions. You know, we've talked about journaling. Those are healthy coping skills that people can do. Journal those feelings you're feeling about that loved one or that family friend or that colleague. Write them a letter. Those are all ways to cope, or even talk to somebody, whether that's a professional or somebody you trust in your life.
I think the important thing that you said is that you have to feel those feelings. I think a lot of us try to like push them away or skip over it. But what I've learned in my life is that it always comes back.
Yes. And again, right, because what we're experiencing right now and the way that we're experiencing it is so unusual to us. And I think people are just ready to look at what's on the other side. But again, you have to feel those feelings instead of just sweeping them over the rug, because sooner or later, like you said, they're bound to come back in different situations. And then your responses don't match that situation. And you're wondering, why are you responding a certain way? But it's because you have all those emotions bottled up that you didn't release.
Some of us are going through heavy losses, such as the death of a loved one. And COVID-19 has kind of stripped us of the ability to grieve together or properly honor our loved ones. What are some ways to get through something that tough?
Yeah, and I think, you know, with the modern day of technology, so maybe it's you guys holding like a candlelight vigil on Zoom and getting all the family members together, and you guys light that candle and say a prayer or say some words about that loved one, or creating a playlist and everybody shares a song about that person in their life, and just coming together again virtually, since we can't come together physically like we would normally do.
Yeah, I know it's so important to at least reach out and not go through these things alone, especially when you're dealing with the death of a loved one, even if you can't physically get together. Thank you so much for joining us, Lakiesha. If you need someone to talk to, Lakiesha is available for therapy sessions as well. And we'll have this interview posted on SpectrumNews1.com. Thank you.